Happiness, that one extraordinary little feeling that we all spend more time trying to get a hold of than almost anything else in life. What is happiness? Where does it come from? How do we explain the powerful effect it has within us? And why can't your miserable ass ever seem to find it? Like most drug addicts, you spend almost every waking moment of your life chasing after your next fix of happiness. Like a mindless moth, you fly around aimlessly and smash face first into every beam of light in your life that you come across. But most of the time, you just smash into all the wrong things. Like my face. Or, of course, a tall glass of whatever I'm drinking. As you talk my ear off about how miserable and unhappy you are. And at some point during the conversation, I start to wonder whether it is actually possible to drown a human being with a half-full glass of water with a Miller moth in it. Well, today, we're going to find some of those happy little beams of light. And we're going to hurl ourselves straight into some happiness. We start first at the scientific foundation, the foundation of who and what you are. You are a human. As a human, you use what biologists call the 4 F's of survival: feeding, fighting, fleeing, and fornicating, which from this point forward will actually be referred to as the 3 F's of survival, because there ain't no flea in this dog. As a social animal, you are evolved to fight, feed on, and fornicate other social animals, hopefully other humans. You have to remember that if you can't fully engage your 3 F's of survival, you'll never be happy. The first F is feeding. Putting the right kinds of foods into your body plays an important role in fueling your happiness. If you want to be happy, you need to eat the right kinds of foods that are going to make you happy. Broccoli and spinach, you need to eat takeout. Takeout is perhaps humanity's apex form of food, thousands of years in the making. It is probably our greatest invention. It tastes by far the best. It's convenient. The menu options are unlimited, and all it really costs is a bunch of extra dollars and the complete and total breakdown of my bodily health. Which I don't care about, because that is 50-year-old me's problem. Sorry, pal. Good luck. Glad I'm not that guy. With takeout, instead of having to spend that long, grueling, insufferable 20 minutes cooking, you can now spend that 20 minutes fueling up on what you actually want to do. Wasting more time watching Netflix. Piss off baseball, go take your little rain check, and say hello to America's new favorite recreation. Ordering every meal you eat on an app and then having DoorDash come and deliver your chicky nuggies right to your front doorstep. Now, if we could just get an app service that would send somebody over to my house to pick the food up off the welcome mat and put it in my hands. Am I right? Or am I right? I'm right. Our culture is so obsessed with takeout delivery that we throw money at DoorDash like the food is somehow going to magically fill us up with the love that our toxic situationships never do. If you think about it, DoorDash is actually a lot like your terrible relationship. You're both lazy and want to text in your order to get the goods delivered right to your doorstep. Both taste great in the moment but are not healthy, and if consumed too much will completely destroy your insides. Both have bad communication and participant unreliability, which leads to a lot of waiting around to see if the order that you texted is actually going to go anywhere, which then ends up in the place that nobody wants to be in, having to have the talk. Whether you're having the talk with an unreliable lover or a shitty 1 hour late DoorDasher, the conversation always goes exactly the same. What are we doing here? Are you like coming over soon? Or am I going to have to take care of this raging hunger inside of me all by myself? Oh, thanks. You finally showed up after an hour of pissing me off. The pizza is cold and so is my mood. But at least I didn't have to spend 20 minutes cooking, which I think in the long run made me happier. The second F is for fighting. Oh yeah, it's go time. Fighting is your ancient birthright. It's lodged like high cholesterol from too much DoorDash in your bloodlines, and it's forever in your brain. Fighting is how you keep your zest for life alive and how you keep your enemies at stay. Now, in modern civilized society, fighting the way our ancient ancestors used to with their bare hands and an M16 is generally frowned upon. So we have ingeniously taken modern day fighting away from the brutal barbarity and short-lived lives of the past to the modern day hyper-confrontational, without actually having to be confrontational, computer screen warfare of today. And the Coliseum that we all fight in is, of course, social media comment sections, writing the nastiest insults and comments that your depraved mind can come up with to people on Facebook who you don't know and will never meet has become our nation's most cherished blood sport. The trumpets that once sounded to start the ancient Roman combat games have now been replaced by the notification sounds that your cell phone makes when somebody responds to one of your comments. And once that poor, doomed soul does respond to one of your comments, you are now a gladiator. And the only thing that separates you from becoming a champion or death is getting the last word in an online political argument. And to the victor who does get that last word in an online political argument goes the spoils, the money, and the women. Every time you call someone a cuck or a fascist online, you literally look like Russell Crowe, swinging his big gladiator sword around to all the women around you who witnessed your Facebook argument online. And just like ancient Rome commemorating their valiant gladiators in their artwork and their statues that will stand the test of time and be remembered for all of human history, so too does your Twitter feed tell the tales of your bloodlust legacy that will be remembered for about 3 hours. The final F is my favorite F, and it's probably your favorite F too. It's the F that when you're effing it up with this F, you forget all about all the other Fs. And that third F is, of course,
fornication.
Now, you're probably expecting me to make a bunch of immature sex and dick jokes, but today we're putting our F sticks back in our trousers because we actually have some serious matters to F with. So I'll keep this short, semi-sweet, and in very close proximity to the point. Sex is to be used for procreation purposes only until further notice. Why is that? Well, first of all, procreation and fornication rhyme. There has to be something to that. Second of all, the United States is projected in the next coming decades to have a massive population decline because nobody my age wants to have kids anymore. So we need you to repopulate the US of A and line Uncle Sam's coffers with your kids' future work money so that everybody in my life will stop telling me to be responsible and save my money for retirement for when I'm this guy because all the Social Security money is going to be gone. Saving my money and living within my means does not make me very happy. So America needs you. She needs you, baby. But even more importantly, I need you. I need you to start having babies and then get those babies into the workforce as soon as you possibly can so that I can keep spending $40 for every meal I eat on DoorDash and not have to worry about dying penniless. We should probably also think about rolling back child labor laws to increase Social Security cash flow. I, however, am not so sure whether or not I'm going to have children. I mean, I would, but it's just, I'm going to be really busy the rest of my life doing this kind of stuff. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm just making the best use of my talents. At the end of the day, you guys, you just have to remember that somebody is going to have to wipe our 80-year-old asses for us while we're drooling into our vapes and still watching The Office reruns. And I currently have no idea who that's going to be. Last I checked, and I have checked, I can't ask ChatGPT to unsoil me. So remember, childbirth-oriented boning only. The nastier the position, the stronger the child, which is certainly something to be happy about. We'll conclude our lesson here today with a reading from the Reflections of Rye. May this wisdom find you well, weary traveler, and may all your problems in life disappear upon hearing my thoughts. The sunshine of happiness shines brightest on they who don't spend their whole lives gazing obsessively into the beam. Mostly because those who stare at nothing but the sun have long since gone blind. If you liked what you saw here today, consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel. If you hated what you saw here today, consider hate-scribing to this channel, and I will wear on you, and eventually, over time, one day, you'll love me.